Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today we have another Jurassic World Evolution 2 video. We have more details about the upcoming game, the sequel of my beloved Jurassic World Evolution game, which for me started it all. And the more I have dived into the details that have been released as well in an interview as an officially news post from Frontier itself, I'm getting more and more excited about it. So let's dive into some of the pictures and the details we have gotten so far. As you can see, we have here the feature focus, which is called the detailed information about the game itself. This is a new type of building, and I couldn't figure out what type of building this is. Is it maybe an information center, maybe security? I saw someone commenting about this being a staff building. So, do we have staff that we can hire instead of just a random guests that's supposed to be employees as well? You saw security and scientists walking around the Jurassic World Evolution 1. Do we get specific people now working for our park? I wonder. All right, we got some information over here. Let's see. So I've been reading the whole article and I have pinpointed some of the information we're talking about and the bigger highlights. So let's start with that. So the process of acquiring and bioengineering dinosaurs has been changed. There's a lot of information about those. So hatcheries can now create and release several dinosaurs at a time, which is amazing because one of the things I really was upset about, it's not because I disliked it, but mostly because I was annoyed by it, that I had Stegosaurus, and Stegosaurus needed more of his own kind before it breaks out. And every time I was progressing more Stegosaurs, the ones already in the habitat broke out. So this is something I really am surprised of they do this, and also very happy to see that. So we get more dinosaurs at the specific time. More information is also stated down below. Um, Oh, it isn't down below. I'm sorry. I got my own. I edited my own text, but I forgot I only did it once. So we have two stages: the synthesis and the incubation. And the synthesis, you create a clutch of eggs and can apply the genetic modifications to tweak everything from dinosaurs' social traits, lifespan, and skin patterns and coloration. And that's interesting because we had skin patterns, but now it's also coloration. Okay, so the results of genetic modifications are revealed at the end of the synthesis stage, and your dinosaurs may have both desirable and undesirable traits depending on the modifications you choose. This is similar to Planet Zoo, I guess, because when you buy animals in Planet Zoo, they have different stats. You cannot choose your own stats. You can only choose the animal with the perfect stats, like the size, the what was it called again? The mating thing that they are able to mate and those things, you know. So I think this is kind of similar to that. So some dinosaurs would be having a nice long lifespan, while it maybe gets even sick faster. Maybe that. Maybe I'm correct about that. Not sure. We have to wait more for information. Um, so very interesting to see that, and it's also really depends on what you do. Okay. Then we also have a remote release, which lets you transport dinosaurs directly from a hatchery to a different point on the map. So there was more details about this. I haven't posted in the text over here. But what I realized is that you can release them like the original game, like the first game. You open the gates, it walks into an area, sometimes immediately into the enclosure you want them. Other times you build a smaller fence around it, so you pinpoint it with your helicopter and transport it finally to its destination. Um, what I understand from out of these details is that we can directly move a dinosaur before releasing it towards a new habitat. So that's very interesting. That means I don't have to wait till they shoot the little compsognators or raptors, take a long time, and then lose them somewhere and they kill something. So that's very cool to know. And also, I understand that I'm not sure about it. I saw something, not clear if that's really the case, but the hatcheries can be placed in remote areas. Normally, we have to connect them nearby the main park area of your map and have a pathway and stuff like that. So, I do hope this is the case. We could just place it somewhere and get along with it. Like nothing is bothering the staff for getting there and something like that. Would be very cool to see that. Transport live dinosaurs into your park from the wild via remote capture and narrative events. So, this is something we saw in Jurassic World Evolution. If you go to the campaign mode and you play Isla Sorna for the first time, you have a number of Stegosaurus and one Spinosaurus roaming on the map before you build anything. So you can capture these and use them in your park. I think that's kind of like the first time we saw that, and that's going to be the case in this game as well, because a lot of dinosaurs are roaming free in America. Like the movie says, the dinosaurs now rule the earth. Welcome to Jurassic World. It's kind of like awesome, but also I don't hope. I'm hoping that it's not giving any troubles when you're trying to get a park and suddenly a T-Rex appears in your map. So that's gonna be chaotic. I don't hope. I don't hope. I hope that's how I have to say it. I hope it's not the case. So who knows? But it sounds awesome. And the next feature, dinosaurs will naturally create territories inside their enclosures based on their environmental needs. They will also seek to expand their territory if they aren't satisfied with what currently is available. So, dinosaurs will roam around, and if they do not like their territory, so it's more like territory instead of an enclosure, what they're referring to. If they don't like it, there is too few trees or plant life or something like that, they leave the area in search for a new one. So, if you have something huge, that means the Triceratops herd will move on from one point to another and look for something else. That's cool. I like that. That's like natural behavior, animal behavior. That's how deer and especially wolves, like in the Netherlands, we have wolves now. They move from one territory to another one because they are in need of a new territory. So that's awesome to see, and I'm curious to see how animals would move from one point to another. Will they like make it notable that they're moving around, or just move on and then suddenly you lost your herd in a specific area? That's kind of like a nice touch as well. So territories are a new feature in Jurassic World Evolution 2, allowing you to design more flexible enclosures. Dinosaurs will roam the area. I saw a little bit more information that it's also suggested in an interview that if you're having like viewing galleries or these towers, those platforms, viewing platforms, you have to place them exactly at a point you know dinosaurs will come around. Otherwise, they move to a different area and no one will see a dinosaur close by the gallery. So that's a nice touch. So you really have to plan way more in this park than, for example, I did in Jurassic World Evolution. I just built it and things went along. So nice touch. And we got a new screenshot for the Nasutoceratops, and they're grazing, so it seems. We also have the tower over there, which is the platform from the first game. It looks a little bit different. Maybe just my eyes deceive me, but I like it with the mountain in the background. It looks gorgeous. It's awesome. We also got some more new information, so let's check that out. So dinosaurs will exhibit new behaviors and react to their surroundings. The interview said like there was a T-Rex and it was released into their paddock, their enclosure, and instead of just immediately going on a rampage, it was checking things out. It was looking around, checking the fences, stuff like that, get their surroundings, their bearings and stuff. So that's cool if that really is the case. And I love to see if a herd of dinosaurs is out of the incubation area, just move out with four of them and they follow each other and discover new things in their new home and stuff. It would be very cool to see that. So we're getting new animations of the dinosaurs if they are resting, socializing, walking, running, hunting, fighting, and making them more realistic and natural. That's something I really want to see because I thought it was awesome to see the dinosaurs in the first game, but with more details. Like when one goes to sleep, I want to see them all go to sleep. And especially in nighttime, for example. And fighting is like it's an automatic animation, but it's like gambling: who strikes first. But everything is the same. So I wonder what kind of changes we will see in the sequel. Um, we already had some details about interactions with others. So how widespread are the animations? How many things are we going to see and are going to be amazed by it? So that's kind of the question. We have to wait till we see that in an upcoming trailer stuff. And this is something we were waiting for. Carnivores suited for it. So not all of them, I guess, because some are like lonely or like solo, hunting solo. They will engage in pack hunts and show a more dynamic range of movement when taking down a prey. Some more details about this is that they work together and have different ways of attacking a prey, and so it's not like a dinosaur standing still, like an herbivore, like a Gallimimus is standing still. It just does this animation of looking up, not sure what's going on, and then from behind the carnivore drops in. So it's gonna be different than that, and I'm looking forward to see what is going to be the case. Like, are they going to run off first, and then the raptors shoot after them, and then finally one of them gets the Gallimimus stuff? I hope something like that. It would be amazing. And this is also very interesting to see is that the prey, like the herbivore dinosaurs, or maybe it's not even only the herbivore dinosaur, it can also be like a small carnivore is being eaten by larger carnivore this time. We saw the raptors after the Return of Jurassic Park DLC, that the raptors and the T-Rex had an interaction, with the T-Rex almost every time winning, of course. So maybe we see some different variations of combat, like raptors taking down a Dilophosaurus that not looking up, or I don't know. I'm curious about that. So prey might be able to escape predators and continue living. Wounded and sick dinosaurs can be treated in the field by the mobile veterinary. This is a word I always have trouble with in Planet Zoo as well. A veterinarian unit. Major injuries will need to be treated at the paleomedical facility. So, dinosaurs can be hunted down and be mortally wounded, maybe, or have a bite out of them and escape and continue living on. But if they're injured and maybe collapse from it, we can send in a mobile unit to treat their wounds and making sure they survive, or just bring them in towards the medical facility. That's kind of cool. That's something Planet Zoo has as well. If animals fight, one is injured, they bring the injured one to the veterinarian unit as well. So that's very cool. You can see a lot of influence from other games, like Frontiers making, of course, Planet Zoo, and Planet Zoo has a lot of influences from Planet Coaster and stuff like that. Very cool. So we have a little bit more information about the territories as well, and the behavior of dinosaurs, because it's going to combine both of the details from the game. So if territories might be overlapping, you might start to see fights for dominance. So if there are specific groups of dinosaurs, they might fight each other or warn each other off, like, get out, this is my new home now. For example, I think Stegosaurus and Triceratops are like, they don't like large populations in the first game, and maybe they fight each other for dominance as well. Maybe just screaming at each other, or maybe getting their kids to bully the others. I'm not sure. It's gonna be fun. It's like a street fight or something. This is my neighborhood. I'm looking forward to that. I do hope it's not just one goes away every time. I hope that all dinosaurs have a way of winning a fight for dominance. That would be very cool. Ranger teams can link up to ranger posts, and that can be placed inside your enclosure. These will be visited by rangers when they're out on patrols, letting them scan every dinosaur within the range of the post. So we have new buildings that doesn't have to be connected to like the main park as well. This is something I really like. I was building on one of my parks yesterday in a live stream, and I wanted to use bunkers buildings inside the raptor enclosure. But then you get the notification like you cannot, there is no path connected to it, and I'm being bothered and annoyed by just having that message at top of the screen. So this is very cool that you can build inside enclosures, and also cool that rangers will scan and check on animals on their patrols. So patrols is new, and the scanning as well. That's very cool. And this is something that brings joy to my heart. All of the maps the player has access to are a lot bigger than in the first game. I thought like Isla Nublar of the first game was huge and we could build a lot in it, but we always want more. And I think maps like Isla Pena, and especially the Isla Sona from 1993 I'm playing on now, those are like horrible to build on, and it's you cannot do much on it without having too much trouble or just use sandbox. So this is something I'm very happy to see being part of the game. Very pleased with that. And another thing I'm very pleased about is that we have more skins and colors to choose from when creating their dinosaurs. So each dino has roughly a dozen body colors along with 7 different patterns. We had basically like around 6 different variations of a dinosaur in the first game. We had the null version, which is the basic color. Then you had one of the color variations like arid, tundra, jungle, and stuff. And you had around the 6. I think most of them were 6. Some had 5. Most of them were 6. With the exception of the dinosaurs that were released with the Return to Jurassic Park DLC, which we had multiple more raptors. Especially raptors have a lot of skins. more T-Rex, more Triceratops and stuff. So we have way more base skins. So we have a dozen. A dozen. Are those like 10 or 12? I'm not sure. I'm like in. I think a dozen is 12. If it's the same thing in Dutch, which is a dozijn, that's 12. And then we have seven different patterns. So that means we have. You can choose a color and you can choose a pattern. That means like 12 times 7 maybe. We can do a lot with a lot of these varieties. Bloody hell, I'm talking like it's already midnight, by the way, when I'm recording this. I was preparing way too much for this video, so you can hear that I'm losing my focus a little bit. But we move on. We got still some more details. So this is something more about the territories and behaviors and stuff a little bit more. This is information from the interview I found and was reading about. So the first thing were like the official notes and details, and this is from an interview, but more in depth. What the person interviewing saw in the game. So when a dinosaur hatches from the lab, it won't immediately settle into a state of comfort or agitation. It will instead explore the habitat to see if there's an area that fits its needs. If that space is found, the dinosaur will claim that territory. Okay, something we already knew about now. So dinosaurs will move its territory in new directions after their old territory they created long ago starts to decay. So there is like areas can decay a little bit. So trees and maybe grass patches decay and their food supply runs out and they move on. Same with carnivores. If they hunt down like herbivores, if that's the case in your park, they move after them, of course. And this is also interesting, is that herbivores don't need to feed on the feeders anymore, and they have the foliage now. So it combines, and I really like that they are going to graze a lot more and from trees and from grass. I like the feeders in Jurassic World Evolution 1, but sometimes it's hard to place them and you don't want to place them always. A number of items that players can add to the enclosure and the enclosures is greatly expanded. We have a lot more trees and bushes and rocks, and we saw the cacti already in the trailers and in the first pictures that were released. So very excited stuff. And oh joy, we finally get better and improved guests in the park. It's something I always thought was it was great to see them, but it was weird sometimes how they walked over the paths and just ignored some dinosaurs and then all the way walked over the other side to the park for nothing. They only moved towards the buildings they can enter. That's kind of what they did. And if you had a pathway, like a specific area next to the fence where normally you would stand there and watch the dinosaur, they just ignore that area and move into the viewing galleries, which is stupid. At least Planet Zoo has, with the new update, these specific points of interest that you can place for guests to watch. Maybe that's something that they improve as well in Jurassic World Evolution 2. So they are improved, and their behaviors, the structures you can build for them. We have new buildings, of course. They also have now new desires. What I recall is like they like to see adventure and be thrilling or thrilled. So if something is what I think, if I remember correctly, I'm not sure about this, so let me know if I'm wrong. But I thought Jurassic Park Operation Genesis had something similar as well. You can see what they like about the park. Have a favorite dinosaur, for example. So the base attractions can transform into an aquarium. Oh, that's very cool. A bowling alley, sorry, a cinema. We had those. No, we didn't have a cinema. Cinema was something that was in the main street of Jurassic World. We had the arcade. We have a spa and more. I think there's gonna be more. So the design of those buildings can be customizable. And we saw something similar because we saw different kind of colors for each building, and the buildings look the same, but were, I think, just customizable by clicking what it's gonna be. I don't think we have Planet Zoo style by adding new options to it and make it your own building. I think it's just like implementing a skin. I think that's the case. And a little bit more information that we can pause the game. Very cool. Now we can pause the game instead of using the capture mode, which is cool because you always were running against time and especially against trouble. If there was a trouble, you quickly had over to the location and you had to do a lot of stuff. And most of the time, you were a little too late to fix most of the trouble in the park. So this is cool. We can pause the game, but I know there was something said in the article that when there is something specific, the game is unpaused, so you have to react to it. So it's kind of like I'm happy with it, but it's a disaster movie. It's a disaster game. It has to go like this, and we can also speed up time as long as things are going well, and also it's going to be back to normal speed if there is a big issue in the park. And in the background, I have the picture. I will show the picture in a second. Well, let's do it now. So you can see here the Pteranodon. Here we go. I want to say something different than that. And it is the Jurassic World version, and I really like that we have those. I hope we get the Jurassic Park version as well from Jurassic Park 3, maybe Lost Worlds. The ones you see in the end of the movie would be awesome. But what I have seen so far from the behaviors and what I read about it is that they land on the ground and they explore as well, and they aren't like a set up animation like what we had with the aviary before. They do the same stuff every time. So back to the information. The size of the aviary is also determined by the player. More glass domes can be added freely. So we're able to customize the aviary, which is cool. And we saw some details already, and we figured out that it's a possible way of expanding them or altering their size or the structure itself. Like, do you have a dome or do you want to have the letter J or L on the map, for example? So that's very cool, and I really want to see those in a trailer. I hope we see them soon. So if pteranodons grow agitated, they can smash through the glass, and that's something new because normally in the first game they only escape if a tornado hits it. If it's by any storm, it breaks down, pteranodons fly out and they just disappear. They're gone forever. But now they fly around the park, they go after the guests, like in the movie, and you have to take any measures to tranquilize them, track them down, take them out, and bring them back to the aviary. So that's very cool. We now have more like individual pteranodons and not those just in there, and if things go wrong, they have to fly out. Very cool. The contract missions, this is not regarding to the aviary anymore, but contract missions from the first game aren't in the story campaign. Yes! Because I was getting so mad about everything I had to do while doing the campaign. They will be present in challenge mode. Okay, because challenge mode is already challenging, so something like that is like it's the way to go around in your challenge mode. So that's okay. I can live with that. So guys, as we are going to near the end of this video, we had all the details so far about the game itself that they let us know now. We saw the interview with the details we have as well. And there's only one thing left, and that's about the dinosaurs, because they haven't shown much more of the dinosaurs beside the ones we knew about. So, we have a list of confirmed dinosaurs so far. There's going to be more than 74, 75. And there will be included marine and flying reptiles, so not just only the mosasaur, but we maybe get a plesiosaurus stuff. So we had some more details with the interview where they saw some more dinosaurs we haven't seen in the game so far. Let's dive into those. So here we go. This is the list so far. Maybe I'm missing some of the dinosaurs we've seen or already knew about. If that's the case, let me know down below. And I will remind myself that these already are confirmed as well. So those in red are the dinosaurs we already know are in the game, which are the Amargasaurs, the sauropod with the huge spines. We had the Brachiosaurus sulophysis, which I'm very pleased with. The Pseudoceratops, we had the I want to say piranha, Pteranodons, Stegosaurus, Triceratops, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and the Mosasaurus. Now we have 5 more dinosaurs. There are no new dinosaurs for us, for those who played Jurassic World Evolution 1, but they're awesome, and I'm very happy to see some of the names. First, let's do the dinosaurs we had in the game from Jurassic World Evolution from the start, which is Ankylosaurus. Of course, Ankylosaurus has to be in it, because it's a movie dinosaur, they have to be in there. Same goes for the Baryonyx and the Allosaurus with Fallen Kingdom, of course. We gave them, or we got them from the DLC pack, specifically about the movie. Now we have them in the base game, because they shouldn't do a specific DLC for that. I think there will be DLCs with dinosaurs that we're not going to see in the base game. Maybe some of you will be disappointed by that, and I think I will as well if some dinosaurs aren't in the game anymore. But let's hope we get a DLC at least. And yes, we have to buy DLCs again to get the dinosaurs. We just got all the dinosaurs, we paid for it, but this is kind of how game industries work. So if the game is great, you may have my money. It's okay, Frontier. I love you guys already. Amazing what I've seen so far. So I don't mind buying a DLC again, but maybe some of you do. So we also have Camarasaurus, which was in the base game of the first game, and is also an animal from the Operation Genesis game. And a lot of people love to see all those dinosaurs. We have all of them in the first game of Jurassic World Evolution. And then we have, which came to me as a surprise, Acrocanthosaurus. So there is a little bit of how do you say this? Controversy about, is that the right word, by the way? I'm saying a word, but maybe it's not even the right word. That's the thing when I'm doing live audio recordings. I am not cutting everything down unless I'm really screwing that up. So there was this there are 2 split ups from the Archaeopteryx in Jurassic World Evolution. We have those that really love the design for in the game, which is the Chunky Boy, and I do personally love the Chunky Boy. It's just, I like it. It's amazing, has great skin, so I'm curious if it's still the same Acrocanthosaurus. I do hope they stick with the same. Maybe have some extra additions, I don't know. And there are those that absolutely hate the big fat acro. and they really want a different kind of acro. Well, maybe we get those. I don't know. I hope not. I have a soft spot for the chunky one. So it's same with the Giganotosaurus. We know we get a Giganotosaurus in the next movie. We already saw some teasers of it. But we also had one in Jurassic World Evolution. I like the Jurassic World Evolution one very much. I really like them. But are we getting the new one? Yes. I think we will. We will get the new Dominion version of the Giga. Does it mean we don't ever see Jurassic World Evolution version? I don't know. Maybe you have skin. Maybe you have two different versions of it. We have to wait, and we shall see. This is a nice list so far, what we have known, and this is just only a little tip of the iceberg that's going to be all the dinosaurs in the game. So we have to wait for next information. I hope we get one of those field guides with the Triceratops. I hope we get a new one as well. Basically, it will be one of the dinosaurs we've already seen. That's what they did with Jurassic World Evolution 1 as well. First the ones we already know, then the newer ones. So, without further ado, this was my video. It's been a long video so far, but yeah, I really paid attention to the details and prepared myself. It's not something I do a lot. I'm more of just go in and improvise kind of guy. So thank you so much for joining me on this in-depth video about the new details, and I'm looking forward to the next one as well, and I hope you do as well by joining me in the next video. I will definitely be back when we have more info. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Insider. Thank you for watching, and until next time.